Today, we will discuss about transmission media. Imagine you want to send a message to a friend. You can use different methods depending on the distance and tools available. In the world of computers, information travels as electrical signals. Transmission media are the highways these signals travels on to reach their destination. Types of transmission media. The first one is guided media. That means these are physical cables or wires that act like dedicated lanes for the signals, like twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, fiber optic cables. Number 2 is unguided media. Basically, this use forms of energy like radio wave or light to transmit signals in wirelessly, like shouting across a field. Examples are electromagnetic spectrum, radio transmission, microwave transmission, infrared transmission, satellite transmission, etc. Twisted pair cables. Imagine two insulated wires twisted together like a barber pole. This is a common and inexpensive option for home networks and telephone lines. Let's take an example. The cable connecting your computer to your internet router is likely a twisted pair cable. Coaxial cable. Think of a single wire surrounded by insulation, another layer of conductor like a bead shield, and a final outer layer of insulation. It offers better performance than twisted pair but is thicker and more expensive. Example of coaxial cable were commonly used for cable TV connections but are being replaced by fiber optics in many areas. Fiber optic cable. This uses thin glass or plastic fibers to transmit light signals. It offers the highest bandwidth and speed, making it ideal for long-distance communication and high-traffic network. Let's take an example of it. Fiber optic cables are used for the internet backbone that connects countries and continents carrying massive amount of data. Electromagnetic spectrum. Think of a rainbow of invisible energy waves, including radio wave, microwave, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet ray, X-ray, and gamma ray. Different types of unguided media use different portion of this spectrum. Radio transmission uses radio waves, which can travel long distance and penetrate through walls and buildings. However, they are susceptible to interference and offer lower bandwidth than guided media. Let's take an example of it. Radio broadcast and FM radio station use radio wave to transmit signals. Microwave transmission uses higher frequency radio waves that can carry more data but have a shorter range and require line of sight between transmitter and receiver. Example of microwave communications is towers used for point-to-point data transmission and backhalting mobile phone networks. Infrared transmission uses infrared light waves which cannot travel through walls but are good for short-range application within a room. Example of infrared transmission is TV remote. Basically, TV remote use infrared to send commands to your television. Satellite transmission. It uses satellites orbiting the Earth to relay signals over long distance. Example of satellite communication is used for satellite TV, long distance phone call across oceans, and GPS navigation system. Choosing the right medium. The best type of transmission medium depends on factors like number 1, distance. that is, how far do the signals need to travel. Number 2, speed, that is, how much data needs to be transmitted. Number 3, cost, what is your budget for installing and maintaining the media. Number 4, security, do you need a secure and interference-free connection? Thank you. Now, write the answers of the MCQs in the comment section. Question number 1. Which of the following is not a type of transmission media? Number 1, guided media. Number 2, unguided media. Number 3, wireless media. Number 4, local media. Question number 2. What is the primary difference between twisted pair cables and coaxial cables? Number 1, twisted pair cables are used for long distance communication while coaxial cables are not. Number 2, twisted pair cables consist of two insulated copper wires twisted together, while coaxial cables have a central conductor and a metallic shield. Number 3, coaxial cables are susceptible to electromagnetic interference than twisted pair cables. Number 4, coaxial cables are lighter and cheaper compared to twisted pair cables. Question number 3. Which of the following statements about fiber optics cable is true? Number 1, fiber optic cable uses electrical signals to transmit data. Number 2, fiber optic cables are immune to electromagnetic interference. Number 3, fiber optic cables have higher attenuation than twisted pair cables. Number 4, fiber optic cables are less secure than other guided media. Question number 4. Which of the following is a characteristics of microwave transmission? Number 1, it uses light signals to transmit data. Number 2, it is highly susceptible to weather conditions like rain or fog. Number 3, it requires physical cables for data transmission. Number 4, it has the lower bandwidth among unguided media. Question number 5. What is one advantage of satellite communication? Number 1, it provides high-speed data transmission over short distance. Number 2, it has lower latency compared to other form of communication. Number 3, it can cover a large geographical area including remote location. Number 4, it is unaffected by atmospheric condition. Thank you everyone. Please give the answers in the comment section. Different concepts of transmission medium are discussed in the video. Now go through the video very properly so that you can understand the different concepts as well as different questions are displayed in the screen. You can understand the types and format of the questions also. Thank you everyone. Please go through it properly.